The following program is sponsored by CBN.
Coming up, admission scandal. Parents paying bribes to get their kids into elite universities. And most Democrats agree with Nancy Pelosi. Don't try to impeach the president, but some say they'll move ahead anyway. Then, an insider's look at the mainstream media.
That was a shock to me.
And the ideological wars going on in the newsroom.
This battlefield is in some ways more frightening than any battlefield I've ever been on.
Lara Logan calls out her colleagues on their left-wing biases.
They'll try to destroy your career so that you can never work again.
And then, Bethel Music's Brian Johnson on the wake-up call that saved his life. On today's 700 Club.
Well, welcome, folks, to this edition of the 700 Club. Well, the Ivies have been scammed big time. $25 million scam. Photoshop pictures of their children on the bodies of elite athletes. Who ever heard of such a thing? Well, it's happened in America. We'll tell you more about it. Also, down in Latin America, Venezuela, fifth day of crisis, those socialists and communists can't fix their electrical grid. It's still broken. They're plunged into darkness. It's really a terrible, terrible tragedy, what is happening. And what else is going on?
There is a big news day. You're talking about that scandal at the top. The Department of Justice says it's the largest college admission scam ever prosecuted, and they've swept up dozens of parents, coaches, and test administrators in its net. Heather Sells reports.
At the heart of this case is parents. Prosecutors have charged 33 who paid enormous amounts to get their children accepted into some of the most elite schools.
Also charged coaches, test administrators, and this man, the alleged mastermind, William Singer of Newport Beach, California. He's pled guilty in federal court.
Wealthy parents paid Singer about $25 million in total to guarantee their children's admission to elite schools, including Yale, Georgetown, Stanford, the University of Southern California, the University of Texas.
You're kidding!
Some of the parents are celebrities, like Lori Loughlin of the sitcom Full House. Also Felicity Huffman, who starred in ABC's Desperate Housewives. Prosecutors say the scam guaranteed acceptance into top schools by fabricating what every college wants: high test scores.
Numerous parents paid Singer between $15,000 and $75,000 to have someone either take the exam for their child or to correct their child's answers afterward.
The scam also allegedly faked athletic profiles, creating the perception that certain students were strong athletes. It also bribed coaches.
In return for bribes, these coaches agreed to pretend that certain applicants were recruited competitive athletes, when in fact the applicants were not.
The NCAA says it will look into the allegations. Authorities believe other parents were involved and say the investigation will continue.
The real victims in this case, the hardworking students who didn't get accepted to the college of their choice because of this scam that ensured a place for those whose parents could afford it. Heather Sells, CBN News.
The question is it, have you ever heard somebody say, my son was accepted to shop at Walmart? Have you ever heard anybody say that? Of course not. They say, well, he was accepted to Harvard, like big deal. Well, the new model is these students are important just like customers are to Walmart. And instead of making it hard to get in, they ought to make it easy. But the elites are trying to act like they're so special. And in a sense, this is a black eye that they richly deserve. Okay. Well, in other news, while more countries are either grounding or banning the Boeing 737 MAX 8 from their airspace, the FAA is under fire for not taking action. It looks for all the world like the flaw is in the autopilot, and the autopilot is sending signals. They've got a couple of things in there that are causing those planes, when they take off, to act as if they're in a dive, and they push the nose down. And the pilots have to disconnect the autopilot. When they do that, they can fly the plane. But if they're not trained to do that, the planes crash. So John Jessup has more of that story.
Pat, the Federal Aviation Administration is facing growing criticism for not grounding Boeing's 737 MAX airplanes. The FAA says there's no basis to ground the fleet after Sunday's crash in Ethiopia that killed 157 people. The accident coming just 4 months after another deadly crash in Indonesia. 40 countries, including many in the European Union, Asia, and the Middle East, are no longer allowing the planes into their airspace. Both the United States and Canada haven't decided yet to ground them, but lawmakers here in the U.S. are calling on the FAA to act.
Well, I think out of an abundance of caution and, frankly, common sense, it makes sense to ground an aircraft that's been involved in 2 very tragic accidents in only 6 months.
Boeing's CEO spoke with President Trump by phone, and he told him he's absolutely confident in the safety of the airplanes. Well, another setback for the United Kingdom's plan to leave the European Union. Britain's Parliament voted down Prime Minister Theresa May's Brexit plan. That's the second proposal UK lawmakers have rejected. Now, with the separation less than 2 weeks away, Parliament must vote on whether to break off without an agreement. The so-called hard Brexit could make it difficult for the United Kingdom to maintain trade, security, and other relations with the European Union. Turning to the 2020 presidential race, the big question now, will former Vice President Joe Biden run for the Democratic nomination? At a rally before a group of firefighters this week, he might have offered a hint. With the crowd chanting, "Run, Joe, run," Biden told them to hold on to that energy.
Save it a little longer. I may need it in a few weeks. Be careful what you wish for.
And polls show Biden leads every other Democratic candidate seeking the nomination. Pat?
Well, you know, it's nice to see some adults in the room in the Democratic Party. I mean, that bunch of children, that those crazies that have been dominating the scene are just ridiculous, and they're leading the Democrats down to failure. But Biden, you know, they're going to say, well, we have to turn to an old white guy. And so maybe the radicals don't want somebody like that. They want a young person. And Biden's been around a long, long time, but he's a very nice man. But whether those radicals will buy it, I don't know, John.
Pat, some Democrats don't want to wait until 2020 to oust President Trump. But with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi now coming out against impeachment, they're not sure what comes next. CBN News Capitol Hill correspondent Abigail Robertson reports on the fallout from Pelosi's comments.
Democrats' messaging on impeachment has been clear for quite some time. But after Speaker Pelosi went public with her views against impeachment, the strategy left some of her members grasping for straws.
I don't know. It's really hard. You know, she's a very smart speaker.
Calling the president ethically and intellectually unfit for office, Speaker Nancy Pelosi told the Washington Post she is, quote, not for impeachment.
I'm sure she had reasons for what she said.
The speaker has been very consistent on this point.
The now public approach could help insulate Democrats from future criticism if the party does move forward with impeachment.
We should never proceed with impeachment for political reasons, and we should never avoid moving forward with impeachment for political reasons.
But not all Democrats are gelling with Speaker Pelosi's message.
There will be another vote on impeachment.
Congressman Al Green intends to bring articles of impeachment to the House floor for a third time, the first with Democrats in the majority.
But the other thing is, it's not going to pass the Senate.
Illinois Democrat Jan Schakowsky says a House vote is futile.
If we do impeachment, it's going to suck all the air out of the entire message that we have.
For now, Democrats are taking a wait-and-see approach to ousting President Trump.
We're expecting the Mueller report pretty soon.
That will be largely driven by the results of the Mueller investigation.
Republican Senator Lindsey Graham says he agrees.
I think when the Mueller report comes out, to me, hopefully that'd be the definitive word on any impropriety by the campaign.
And if Mueller's report doesn't change the way the wind blows, Democrats may have to adjust their sails.
And one could imagine a president who committed a felony and the House simply decided for the good of the country it wasn't an important felony, it was just a mistake or something we can deal with after a presidential term.
After Pelosi's comments, Republicans countered, asking why Democrats would have issued 81 document requests to people associated with President Trump if they're not already planning on impeachment. Reporting from Capitol Hill, Abigail Robertson, CBN News.
Thanks, Abby. Pat, there's dissension in the Democratic ranks.
Well, the idea of impeachment is insanity. Nancy Pelosi is a savvy politician, and she knows, as one of those guys said, it'll suck all the energy out, and you'll spend all your time on a futile endeavor. When it hits the Senate, there's no way they're going to vote 2/3 to impeach the president. It's not going to happen. So it will be an exercise in futility, and they'll lose all of the, whatever issues they've got going, they'll go away from. There's something else I think that you need to know. My sources tell me that the Mueller report will probably be presented either Thursday or Friday of this week. And it's very unlikely that it'll have anything in it of any great substance. There's no collusion, and he won't be found any collusion. So what are they going to do? Say he obstructs justice? I don't believe it. There's no ground for obstruction. So I think the Mueller report's going to be plain vanilla. So that the Democrats are going to be frustrated in the House, but they're going to be doing everything they can to hurt the president, to hinder the president, to block the president. And what good does that do America if our president is hobbled with a whole bunch of subpoenas from the House? My feeling is, and I think it's shared by other legal experts, is that this particular initiative is unconstitutional. The hearings need to be pursuant to some kind of a legislative initiative. They just can't be shuffling through the financial records of the children of the President of the United States. What legislative purpose is that going to serve? Well, none whatsoever. And so if it only serves, and I think the idea of the president's legal team would be to ask for declaratory judgment, take the Democratic congressman to court every time, sue them every time, and put them on the defensive. So if you're going to win, you don't win by covering up, you win by going on the attack. Well, as we have pointed out, Venezuela is in crisis, and John has more.
That's right, Pat. The blackout in Venezuela continues as people suffer without fresh food or water, and hospitals remain in the dark while patients suffer. This as the political crisis continues to rock the country. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo was lashing out at Cuba and Russia for continuing to support the country. Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro saying the United States is contributing to his country's economic crisis. Pompeo told reporters at the State Department the U.S. is interested only in the welfare of the Venezuelan people. Well, when an EF4 tornado ripped through Lee County, Alabama earlier this month, Kathy Brown's first thought was to protect the disabled veterans under her care. While 23 people died in the twister, Kathy and the veterans were spared, but one of their buildings was hit by the tornado. As Mark Martin shows us, CBN's Operation Blessing is helping them clean up and rebuild.
Kathy Brown is an owner and caregiver at Loving Touch, a home for disabled veterans in Lee County, Alabama. She serves 14 veterans at the home and lives next door. Her husband is also a disabled vet. He was awarded the Purple Heart after suffering wounds from a mine in Vietnam.
I'm a nurse by trade, and that's what I always wanted to be. I'm retired now, but I just always try to make other people feel better. To me, it was always about other people and not myself.
On Sunday, March 3rd, Kathy turned on the news and heard the warning, severe weather in the area. Rushing next door to make sure the veterans were safe, her worst concerns came true. 2 tornadoes touched down nearby, one on her street.
So we got the veterans in a safe place and just prayed that we would be okay. And thank God we wasn't hurt. We had no damage to the veteran home.
Miraculously, the tornado did not damage her home either, but a path of destruction blew right by her house. The tornado took off almost the entire roof of the Veterans Recreation Center and threw debris all over her yard. It also blew apart her grandchildren's playset. That's when Operation Blessing stepped in to remove the heavy debris. The crew also got up on the roof and covered it with a blue tarp to keep the recreation center dry.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Kathy believes the Lord sent Operation Blessing workers to her because she did not even have to make a phone call. Her friend reached out to the organization saying, "You just have to help this woman. She's the sweetest woman I know besides my mother."
It's hard for me. I like to be the one that gives. And when Operation Blessing came and they showed up and I didn't even call for them, it's just something that I can't explain. I was so grateful to know that God got somebody that would come and you don't even have to ask for the help. He would just send them, not knowing that you all was gonna come until someone called me early this morning. I was just so grateful for you all showing up and help. It's just something I can't hardly explain. Amen.
Mark Martin, CBN News.
God bless the people like Kathy Brown and people like her suffering in Alabama. Pat, back to you.
Operation Blessing, Isaiah 58. Here's what the fast that God has chosen, that you deal your bread to the hungry, you see the homeless, you take them in, you see the naked, you clothe them. And Operation Blessing is, after many years, 40 years or so, is still out doing that, cleaning up debris, putting tarps on roofs, helping survivors, praying and lending spiritual support, and also food and water and medical help and all the rest. If you want to help Operation Blessing, you can call 1-800-700-7000 to be a volunteer, or you can make a donation to Operation Blessing Disaster Relief Fund. And let me tell you, there have been some serious problems. And, well, that's just the start of what Operation Blessing is doing. But these tornadoes, this vicious weather, the things that are happening, not only in America, but all around the world, Operation Blessing is there, have helped probably as many as 300 million people with their work. And it's really a very wonderful thing. Well, something else, I said the other day that we had an entitlement crisis. And we got a lot of calls like, how dare you mention that Social Security is something bad? Well, let me tell you some facts. I want to bring these to you because you need to know. First of all, the Social Security Trust Fund will run out of money in 2034. And the Medicare Trust Fund will run out of money by 2026. And these funds are only used when there's not enough tax money to pay for benefits. But let's look at some of these, the unfunded liabilities. We talk about the budget. The unfunded liabilities of these two agencies right now, let me tell you, in Social Security has unfunded liabilities over $37 trillion. And Medicare liabilities can go over $50 trillion. And so we talk about the enormous amount of public debt, but these two unfunded liabilities for these so-called entitlements. Now, when Alan Simpson, former senator, and Erskine Bowles from the University of North Carolina got together, they put together a splendid budget that included a realistic appraisal of Social Security. Now, here's what happened, and you need to understand what happened. When Social Security was first set up in 1935 or so, the average life expectancy of a citizen in America was about 65 or less, sometimes 60, 62, 63. So the cap on Social Security started at 65, so people were already dead by the time it started. So this was a small group, and it was a few $100s. Now, the cap has stayed the same, but the people, let's face it, they're working longer, they're healthier longer. They live till 70, 75, 80. I'm coming up on 90 pretty soon, 89, and because of health, because of all these wonderful things we've got, people live longer. And the charge on this material has been extremely. Now, what happened was there was a tax taken out of your paycheck, and you see your paycheck, and it says income taxes. Then it says so much for Social Security, and it says so much for Medicare. Everybody's paid it. but it's gone into the government. And what do you think the government did? What does Congress do? They said, these are tax revenues. We count them against the budget. And so they spent the money every time. Did you know that?
They spent the money. It's going to run out, you say, in 2034.
Yeah, but I mean, they spent the money as it came in.
Yeah, it didn't put it away for...
And I guess they got some federal, some bonds or something out there. But we've got to pay for the bonds. But they have a so-called trust fund, and people act like there was a lockbox and all that nonsense. It was only part. Now, when this runs out, this money's got to come out of the budget. And we're talking again about trillions of dollars, and something has got to be done. And the first thing they've got to do is to make Social Security more sustainable and Medicare more sustainable. And in order to do that, they've got to raise the age limit when this stuff comes into play. They cannot any longer have 65, 66, 67. It's got to be more realistic up into 70, 71, 72, and they've got to do it gradually. But I know for some people, you don't have any savings. The American people don't have savings. It's just shocking. The small amount of money that is available to the average household, it's a few $1,000s. You couldn't possibly live more than a few months on the savings. Did you know that? It's just, people are
scary. It's scary, but since it's not going to run out to 2034 or around then, isn't there time to fix the problem, maybe?
Well, it's been the time for the longest kind of time, but Congress, it's the third rail, and nobody wants to touch it. You see, you even mention it like I did on this program, and I get all these calls. Oh, how dare you? Because this is the lifeline of people, and they have to live on Social Security. Well, that's fine. But the truth is, we cannot continue to pay benefits to people who are healthy, of working age, and the age of retirement must be pushed longer. That's the way it is. Now, the total amount that somebody hears, we've got that available to us. If there's a married couple with an average earnings turns 65 in 2028, that person will pay $295,000 in Social Security, and they will receive $535,000. So that's not, they say it's my money. Well, yeah, that's how much extra it's going to be. As far as Medicare, they're
getting twice as back what they put in.
Twice. And they'll pay $81,000 in Medicare, and they'll get $495,000 in benefits. So these are just some of the numbers, folks. And the biggest problem is the so-called trust fund is going to run out, and this is going to hit the federal budget. And when it does, it's going to be a monstrous problem, because you say, well, there'll be how many millions of dollars has got to be spent now on entitlements as part of the federal budget. There won't be enough money for defense. There won't be enough for all these other things the government does. And not to mention the interest charge. We're coming down on a fiscal crisis of mammoth proportions. And people have got to recognize what's happening, and we've got to do something about it. So, all right, that's...
Amen.
Does that tell you anything?
Tough love. You had to get it out there. I'm glad you did.
Well, it's tough love, but, let's face it, we just have got to move up. And you can ratchet it slowly, make it a couple of years, and then another couple of years, and before long, you've got it up into a more realistic number, and everybody can live with it. That's what Simpson Bowles did, but it was given to Obama, and he just put it in a drawer and ignored it. It was brilliant. It would have balanced the budget. It was a wonderful plan, but they didn't take it. All right, well, we got something else going on. Lara Logan, charming lady, and Wendy, tell us about it.
That's right. The problem with fake news, it's not just the lies, it's the truth.
Because sometimes you can take little pieces of the truth and you can stitch them together in a way that creates a whole that is very dishonest and very deceptive.
A veteran reporter reveals the source of fake news and the left-wing biases that infect the newsroom.
Lara Logan, you've probably seen her on 60 Minutes. It's a very popular show. And she's a veteran war correspondent and former, as I said, 60 Minutes reporter. She reportedly recently made headlines by calling out the mainstream media for liberal bias. While her boldness drew both cheers and criticism, Lara told CBN's Jennifer Wishon that she'll always stand up for the truth, even if it hurts her career.
Is it strange for you when you are the news?
Yeah, it is strange. And you know, I think because I'm on television, people think that that's a place that I like to be. But actually, I'm much more comfortable being the light for someone else's story.
We caught up with Lara Logan here in New York City, one of America's top news hubs, a place where Logan says the vast majority of journalists are doing their readers, listeners, and viewers a grave injustice.
The truth is that most of my career, I never even noticed there was a liberal bias because I was part of it. And I just mean that in the sense that I grew up very liberal, and so it wasn't noticeable to me. And you know, when most of the people around you share your opinions, you're not so aware of all the people who don't.
For much of her 30-year career, Logan says she often argued with people who repeatedly asked why the media is so liberal.
When did you personally feel or discover this liberal bias? When did it hit you?
When I was attacked for the Benghazi story, that was really when it hit me, because suddenly I was being accused of being conservative.
She's talking about a story she reported for 60 Minutes. After it aired, she realized her main source wasn't credible.
We realized we had been misled, and it was a mistake to include him in our report.
Her report raised serious questions about the Obama administration's response to the attack on the American consulate and came as Republicans demanded answers. Logan says it's fair to say she was naive about wading into a political firestorm, but insists her approach was objective. The media tore into her.
People tried to say that it was politically motivated. The fact that we even did that story was a political decision, and that was a shock to me.
Now she's speaking out, not as an activist, but as a journalist, telling the story of liberal media bias.
This battlefield is in some ways more frightening than any battlefield I've ever been on, out, you know, in some distant, faraway land.
While the mainstream media dismisses conservative outlets as biased, she says liberal outlets get a free pass, and anyone who dares to challenge them is quickly shamed.
Why are people trying to undermine that so that my voice won't be heard, so that I can be sidelined and dismissed as some kind of right-wing lunatic conspiracy theorist and nobody has to pay attention to what I'm saying? Are they trying to take the credibility that comes from all the years of work, decades of work, from being out there on the field in the middle of the story? It's very, very hard because it costs a lot, you know, personally. They'll try to make, you know, destroy your career so that you can never work again, so that you can't feed your children, so that it's very difficult to survive. I mean, this is not a small thing.
You have become a bit of a conservative darling. Are you comfortable
for the moment
in that space?
I'm a conservative darling for the moment. Am I still a conservative darling if the facts lead me somewhere else? If the conservative side dominated the political spectrum, I suspect you'd see a lot of the same things that you're seeing on the left right now. Because dominating the information space, dominating the political space, dominating anything, in my experience, doesn't typically bring out the best in us.
Is it hard for you to watch the news, to read the news?
You're going to get me into all kinds of trouble here. Yes, I mean, I don't. I rarely watch it. It's painful. It's painful. It's so annoying. I tried channel surfing. I flick between all the different channels just like a lot of people do.
I wonder what you think about fake news.
Well, when something sticks, it's usually because there's a degree of truth to it, right? It's not just an issue of being true or not true, because sometimes you can take little pieces of the truth and you can stitch them together in a way that creates a whole that is very dishonest and very deceptive. So I see that happening all the time. Every time I pick up a newspaper, every time I read something online, every time I turn on the television, I see that happening. And that, to me, is the real source of fake news.
She's not sure why the truth is threatening, but she's certain the news business can turn itself around.
If we accept that it's unwinnable, if we accept that nothing can be done, then nothing will be done. But everything can be changed. Nothing is permanent. And it starts by standing up and being honest about it and encouraging other people to do the same.
And while Logan weighs her next move, she says one thing is certain: she'll always remain dedicated to the truth. Jennifer Wishon, CBN News, New York.
Well, good for her. But again, the truth is what we want to do. You know, you don't want to shade the truth. You don't want to, but an editor does have the possibility, a good editor, of deciding what the important stories are. For this program, for any program, you have to decide what's important and what isn't. And if you're laying out a newspaper, you want to put what the important story is on the headlines and on the right-hand column of the front page and so forth. And I've seen it more and more, though. It's just unbelievable. Laura, what she says is exactly right. And the bias against Trump is just overwhelming. Wendy?
Well, up next, the secret battle of Bethel Music's Brian Johnson. And it's one that ultimately landed him in the back of an ambulance. Find out what he'd been hiding next. Well, even if you haven't heard the name Bethel Music, you've probably heard their songs. They're the Christian label behind worship staples such as One Thing Remains and Reckless Love. The co-founder of Bethel Music is Brian Johnson, and while his songs have helped bring a countless number of people closer to the Lord, he says it took a major scare before God became real to him.
Brian Johnson is the co-founder of Bethel Music, singer and songwriter. He thought he was having a heart attack, but it turned out to be a panic attack.
When the ambulance got there, this one thought crossed my mind, even though I was in the middle of this thing. I walked over to my kids, and I told my kids, I said, this is, I said, this is when God becomes real.
In his book, When God Becomes Real, Brian opens up about his battle with anxiety and depression. He shares how God helped him find freedom and how the Lord wants to do the same for you.
Brian Johnson is here with us now. And Brian, we welcome you to the 700 Club.
Great to be here.
We've had your dad, Bill, and your mom out here on the show. And, you know, of course, you grew up in a Christian home.
Yeah.
You guys are from Redding, California. But despite this, or in spite of this, there was a terror that hit you when you were just 7 years old. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's, you know, when you're 7, you don't, I mean, you're thinking about, I don't know, lizards outside and Legos, but I just was in this kids group and
at church.
At church, yeah, and I've been around church and I've been around deliverance, you know, stuff my whole life, but so I was familiar with that. But this thing came, it's like the hair on the back of my neck stood up, and it spiraled me into basically from when I was 7 till 18.
You felt a presence coming to this. You were in church with a bunch of kids, and you felt something that was off.
Oh yeah, and I think back then it was a spiritual thing.
Yeah.
And it started this series of like panic attacks because when it would start to happen again, I would just spiral.
Because you thought maybe you could become demonized.
Exactly. Yeah. I was petrified of like when that whole thing.
Yeah, I mean that's scary when you're a kid and you see someone get free from a demon. It's not a pretty thing that happens.
Yeah.
But then so you started having these panic attacks even at a young age like that, and then you thought you got it under control. Through worship and just meditating on the word, but then it came back. What happened?
When I was 21, I had my last experience on an airplane, and I ended up almost losing it, and I ended up singing out Psalms 149, and 15 minutes before we landed, I just had it broke, and I felt like God spoke to me about the keys, with worship and the power of praise and everything. So from 21 till 4 years ago, I had 36. I
don't want to miss this story because this was good in the book, and I was reading it because, you know, flying can be scary for a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, you're just in torment. I mean, you want to jump out of this plane.
100%.
You're reading the Psalms, and you start singing the songs. People are starting to look at you.
I know.
You don't care.
This is back before crazy plane stuff, and I literally got to the point of breaking, and I started singing out loud because I was so desperate.
And then you heard the voice of the Lord say something very profound.
Moment, it left. It was as if it was light and dark.
What did God say to you?
Giving you the keys for this, relating to worship, the power of praise. And from that day on, you know, I started leading at the church. I mean, I led before that, but there was something that shifted. And 21 to 36, I didn't have any anxiety or panic attacks at all.
Wow, that's a nice long stretch.
And it was, you know, it just was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, when did it come back? I mean, why did it come back?
Well, you know, I think it's a little different when it came back as a 36-year-old. You know, life happened. We have 4 kids. We're building this label. Things got really, really busy. And I think I stuffed things way too much. You know, like a balloon, if you blow a balloon up, you keep blowing it up, it's going to pop. And that was me. I didn't really know it.
And on the outside, you had everything was perfect. You had this great family, great marriage, great church. Your songs are not only becoming hits in your church, but they're being sung around the world. And then the panic came back. One day you were out with your son.
I took my son out after we had a long stretch. My wife's like, why don't you take him out? Because she could see I was, you know, tired. And so I took him out to the river, and then just like it was when I was 7, but it was a little different. It was physical this time. I wasn't scared I was demonized or whatever.
Right.
My heart started, something felt fuzzy. My arms went numb. You know, and I'm thinking, right, is this
heart attack,
right? Or whatever. And then my mind, I can't gather any thoughts. And I just spiraled. And I'm thinking at this point, I got to get my son home because I can't hardly function. So I grabbed him, we raced home. And I'm thinking I could just walk it off, you know. And it was very scary. It got worse and worse to where I thought I was just losing my mind. It was very terrifying.
And Brian, you described the next few months as some of the darkest of your entire life.
Yeah, the next 6 months.
Wow.
There was moments where.
Just depression.
Like,
why is this happening to me? And you described the 4 weapons, though.
Yeah.
That God helped you, that you used to fight the attacks of the enemy, because this was a spiritual attack.
100%.
You know, what were those 4 weapons?
Well, the main thing that I learned, thank God, I was on a drive with my wife, and she just started doing a deep dive. Holy Spirit started speaking to her about some stuff, and I just started like repenting and forgiving, and I made a commitment to get up in the morning. Worship was a big part of it. I'd worship music going 24/7 in the house through the nights.
Yeah.
But that thing that changed in me was the Word, where I gave myself to the Word. I quit everything. I couldn't function. And I knew I couldn't take more meds. You know, that can't be my future.
You were on the anti-anxiety meds.
Oh man, yeah, sedatives, and I had to take quite a bit by that point just to function, just to not have a panic attack.
Right.
And it was getting worse, so I thought, I can't. This isn't my end. I can't do this. So what happened was that God spoke to me really clearly. Get up at 5:15. Start getting up at 5:15 and start just reading.
Yeah.
So, and I started reading the Bible like as if I was on a deserted island for the rest of my life by myself. So how would we approach God?
Yeah.
And about 7 to 10 days in, something happened to where I had this glimpse of hope, and I started feeling better. Even my mind, my thought, I could retain stuff better.
Yeah.
And I was off the meds in 1 month.
1 month.
1 month.
That's incredible.
And
I know the doctors were astounded.
Yeah, and so that word renewed my mind. That's all I can say. It was like a miraculous thing that started happening.
You'd always counted on, like, worship was your key to deliverance.
When I was a kid.
And then now, so the word, and also you felt like the Lord was saying, one day at a time, my daily bread.
Yeah.
Stop, just concentrate on this day.
Yeah, everything slowed way down. And sometimes I just sit there for 2 hours, literally, and read a verse.
Wow.
It was this amazing thing where all ambition was gone. I was stripped of everything. I didn't know what my future was going to be, so I had one thing, and it was God. It was like, all right, here I am,
That's why you wrote the book. The title is When God Becomes Real.
Yeah,
because that's all you had.
It's all I had.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, people that have never been through what you've been through might have a hard time understanding, but why do you think God allowed you to go through this, even at an early age, even at 7? is it the thorn in the flesh like he gave Paul because of all the revelation and the great songs and the success and all of that? Man, I mean,
I don't know. I feel like as a 7-year-old, that was probably an assignment, I don't like to get over like whatever, but that's all I can think of.
Or maybe it was so you could share this one profound message that we all need, is that today is all we have.
That's right.
And that we need to just be still and know that he is God.
Yep.
Last night I turned to, in Isaiah, God says, keep your eyes on me and I will keep you in perfect peace.
Yeah.
And don't we just all want that?
Totally.
I mean, that's what we want. Daily surrender. We were just talking about that. That's really the takeaway, isn't it? The daily surrender from your book?
It is, and I tell you what, since I wrote the book, since I went through this 4 years ago, I've had a few times where, you get careless. Yeah. And you get brought back to, oh, that's right, that daily, because it is a daily thing, Yeah. We get too far out and we start forgetting what it's like. And so that daily surrender, I remember my devotion, I would get up every morning, I'd be like, all right, God, I surrender. Yeah. And surrender is a tricky thing. We can say it can come out of here, but when it actually push comes to shove, it's a tricky thing.
Well, thank you so much for being so real and sharing this journey with us, and we're all better for what you've been through. So,
thank you.
Well, for more of Brian's story, read his book. It's called When God Becomes Real, and copies are available nationwide. And if you are or someone you know is struggling with anxiety and depression, please call our prayer line. The number is 1-800-700-7000. We'd love to pray with you. When you're on the line, ask for our free booklet on depression as well. All right, well, still ahead, Pat tackles the hard-hitting questions from you, our viewers. Donna asks, is it okay as Christians to have cosmopolitan magazines sent to the house? I say no. My husband says yes. Another round of your questions, honest answers, coming up. Don't go away.
Welcome back to Washington for Newsbreak. The Temple Mount in Jerusalem's Old City reopened for worshipers today after violence erupted at the holy site Tuesday. Palestinian protesters threw a Molotov cocktail at an Israeli police post, setting fire to the building. Israeli police closed the Temple Mount and 2 gates leading to the Old City. Palestinians clashed with police as they searched for the assailant. The Temple Mount is revered by Jews and Muslims. It is Islam's 3rd holiest site, as well as the site of ancient Jewish temples from biblical times. Well, the Pentagon has approved a new policy that will likely bar transgender troops and keep military recruits from transitioning to another sex. It also will require most individuals to serve in the gender in which they were born. The memo comes after a long and complicated legal battle and falls short of the all-out transgender ban that President Trump initially ordered. But it will likely force the military to eventually discharge transgenders who need hormone treatments or surgery, or who can't or won't serve in the same gender as they were born. Well, you can always get the latest from CBN News by going to our website at cbnnews.com. Pat and Wendy will be back with more of the 700 Club right after this.
Welcome back. Well, let's start with your email. Donna writes in, someone started sending a cosmopolitan magazine to my house. I'd never seen one before and was totally shocked by the pictures and sex articles that were in it. I don't know who sent it, and I'm trying to stop them from being delivered. My question is, my professing Christian husband claims there's nothing wrong with looking at these magazines since they can be educating us on things to do in the bedroom. Mind you, we are in our 60s. I am in total disagreement with this. I would like your insight, Pat.
Several years ago, I was the featured speaker at a luncheon in New York, and given by Ginger Rogers. You remember Ginger?
Oh, Ginger Rogers, yeah.
Okay. They gave me an award of some kind. And one of the people on the platform was a lady named Helen Gurley Brown. And she happened to be the editor of Cosmopolitan. And that woman, very frankly, I think it's only fair to say, her face had all kinds of, pockmarks or whatever. And she really was a horrible-looking woman. And I'm thinking, this is the lady who's telling women how to improve their love life. And I think this woman is the editor of this Cosmopolitan. I don't read it, I don't know anything about it, but the answer is that bringing what amounts to porn into your house is not a good thing. Your husband is 60. There's nothing wrong in trying to spice up your love life, but I think, I think you've got the wrong thing, and I believe that you're exactly right to tell your husband you don't want that thing delivered to you. But, I don't know. I guess some of these porn people have got mailing lists, and they start sending stuff to people unsolicited, and that's what it amounts to. All right.
All right. Tamari says, I always see myself in a dream praying for people, guiding people, delivering people, destroying demons. Could this be my fate? How do I grow spiritually if I don't attend church?
Well, I mean, you can grow spiritually by praying and reading the Bible and getting together with a small group of people to pray with you. But you have that desire in your heart. It must be the Lord's putting it there. So begin to act it out. I mean, begin to find people who have need and pray for them and see what happens. And if it doesn't happen, that's too bad. But if you feel that's your calling in life, well, walk in the anointing that you've received. All right.
This viewer says, my fiance and I have 2 beautiful children together. Even though we had been unfaithful a handful of times, I forgave him. We began to go to church and build a relationship with God, as we both had in our younger days. Then we began to fight all the time, and I decided that the right thing to do was leave. Now I'm regretting it, and I want to go back and work on our relationship, but my family hates him and is telling me that he doesn't deserve me. I want my children to grow up in a happy home with their mother and father. What should I do?
Along that description, I never saw anything about marriage. It seems like you were having a relationship outside of marriage, and the Bible calls that fornication. It may be beautiful and lovely and all that kind of stuff, but nevertheless, it's sinful. Why didn't you ever get married? I don't understand it. I don't understand. You have a relationship, you have 2 children, and you have not been faithful to one another from time to time, and you want to go back and start again. If I were you, I would start with asking the Lord forgiveness, and then if this guy wants to get married and start a Christian family, by all means do so. Otherwise, that business you were talking about doesn't make any sense whatsoever biblically. All right?
Amen. Good advice. All right, Leanne says, what does the Bible say about a man who's been divorced and remarried being qualified or not to serve in a pastoral position of a church? What does the husband of one wife mean? I've heard different interpretations lately, and I am not sure of what God intended to be meant by those scriptures. Our pastor recently passed away, and the man they're considering to fill his position was saved before his divorce and remarriage. It's causing quite a conflict.
Well, first of all, what does it mean? The deacon or the elder should have a husband of one wife. I think one is one at a time. I think the idea is you can't be a polygamist and be an elder in the church. That's what he's saying. You can't have multiple wives at the same time. And I think polygamy is illegal in most jurisdictions. I don't know how it is in Utah, but anyhow, it's not considered the thing to do. So that's what they're talking about.
Most men don't want more than one wife, do they?
Well,
don't answer that. Don't answer that. Okay.
It depends on who you are.
Okay.
But for most of us, one is plenty.
Okay. Moving. Well, I just got married, so I just wanted to clarify that. All right.
All right. But in any event, the question is, was the marriage of this other guy, was it legitimate? You know, the Lord said there's a grounds for divorce, and it's adultery, and you know, I don't know what was the fact that the man has been divorced and remarried isn't the disqualifier. The question is, how come he was divorced, and was the remarriage valid according to Scripture? All right.
All right, Beth writes in, I would like to know how to forgive myself for past sins. I've asked forgiveness from God and know He's forgiven me, but I can't seem to get past certain sins. They pop into my head and I feel depressed. It's like I'm stuck and I can't move past them. At other times, I'm okay with my life. Is it Satan who puts these memories of past sins in my head? Please help.
You've got to receive what God says. And he says he wants us to have a clear conscience that we might serve the living God. And whatever has gone on in the past, he wants forgiven. He wants it out, and he wants your life of service. He's more interested in you serving him than going back and reliving past sins. We're all sinners. All have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Paul said, I am the chief of sinners. But he came to the Lord and was a great apostle for Jesus. You know, the Bible is full of people who have had sins and then repented and had a new life. The devil would love to keep bringing that stuff up, but you need to take what God says. He says, I have forgiven you. All manner of sin and blasphemies will be forgiven. You are forgiven in the name of Jesus. Receive that forgiveness and then walk in what you have.
That's good.
Thank you for those questions. I think that's all the time we've got. Well, today's Power Minute is from the Psalms. The Lord bestows favor and honor. No good thing does he withhold from those who walk uprightly. Well, thank you so much for being with us. We're glad to have you with us. And Wendy, it's good to have you back and with us. And God bless you.
Great to be here. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Well, Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow at the same time. Bye-bye.